Who out there is flourishing? Stand up if you are. Please, stand up. Okay, that looks like 30%. Take a seat, thank you very much, thanks. My name is Simon, Dr. Simon Kelly, and at the ripe old age of 66, I've got a confession to make. I don't know if I'm flourishing. But right here, right now, the son of a butcher from a Doncaster coal mining community, standing on this red spot, feels like flourishing. But what is flourishing? I'd say it's growing in the best way you can or staying true to your values. It doesn't have to be related to money or material goods. So, today, I want to talk to you about 3 pillars to flourishing. And these are my 3. Learning, connecting, and moving to flourish. Moving physically and mentally. All culminating in what I call full circle flourishing, where both you and your community can flourish. And I am going to take it that you have the will and the ability to flourish at any time in your life from any background. Because like a mate of mine recently retired in Dublin said, I don't have any pension at all, but I have lots of free swimming and lots of free cycling. I can still flourish. I can assure you he was from Dublin. Anyway, my first pillar for flourishing is learning to flourish. So let me tell you what I've learnt, which may help you. Because although I may not be qualified to talk about flourishing, I can say I started off 100% Doncaster coal mining community man and stand here today as the 1% of people who can call themselves doctor. Everybody feeling all right? Well, good, because I can't save your life. At the tender age of 11, I passed to go to the local state grammar school. I found myself a very small boy in a massive school hall with lots of big people, and it excited me. Have you ever been in situations like that? Have you flourished or shrunk? That's my first life lesson. Think about times when you were really energized and put yourself in those situations again. When I was 23, I became a sales manager for BT in London, Covent Garden. I quickly became very busy, but not very intellectually stimulated. I bumped into a guy in the corridor. He was applying for a Master of Business Administration, MBA. It was all the rage at the time, so I thought, hey, I better do it. Anyway, applying what I learnt from the MBA, I flourished at work, if being promoted to marketing director is what we call flourishing. Then, at the age of 57, I got my doctorate, the second time around. The first time, I was destined to fail. I just didn't pay enough attention to it. I was too distracted with other priorities. Have you ever found that having too many conflicting priorities gets in the way of flourishing? Second time around, I focused hard on the doctorate. I didn't go for any promotions. I didn't take any other job roles. So here's my second life lesson. Sometimes, in order to flourish, you have to focus and stop doing the things that get in the way. So, in order to flourish, you may need to reinvent. And it's never too late to reinvent or reflourish. And while education may give you access to jobs you may not have got, it's what you learn about yourself along the way and the connections you make that's the real difference. Which takes me to my second pillar, connecting to flourish. I'm sure that when you think back to a time where you've really flourished, it's been when you've made great connections with other people or organisations. And human connection is increasingly important in a world dominated by digital devices. And Harvard University say that it's actually connecting with your local community. That's the key to human flourishing. Now, all my life I've tried to connect to flourish because although education can give you some fuel for flourishing, it's the lifelong connections you make along the way that can truly help. Some of mine are over 50 years old. Connecting with your local community or clubs locally can lead to what I call full circle flourishing, where you flourish and the club or community flourishes. So let me tell you about a couple of things which may give you fuel for flourishing. When I was 13, I joined the local cricket club, Conisbrough. I was in no means the best player, and I found that I flourished most when I helped the club develop. And when I became chairman, I helped them transform from being a loss-making club to a thriving one, mainly through applying skills I had from my full-time job. Have you ever thought that you have skills that you can take from elsewhere that can help a local community group flourish? Then, at the age of 65, last year, I joined Rotherham Harriers Running Club, having done a couch to 5K. It's the best thing I've done for years. You get a lot fitter, which is great for holistic flourishing. You run at your own pace, you meet great new friends, they help you, you help them. It improves your mental health, all while learning more about the local area. What is there not to like? This is a video. It's my running partner, Tracy, and I being beaten by a shrimp in a local 10K race. Are you clapping me or the shrimp? Anyway, you don't have to beat the shrimp in order to flourish. Not if it's about self-improvement. You don't have to beat the shrimp. During COVID, my friend Steve Pugh, famous for the Conisbrough community mantra, "Don't put it down, put it right," asked me if I'd put a local radio show together to keep people connected during those troubled times. I recently did my 150th show, giving 150 local bands a platform. Before this, I'd never been a DJ. So if you join into these local things, you'll learn new skills. You flourish, the community flourishes. Full circle flourishing. So, making positive connections is a key to human flourishing, but it comes with a massive health warning. You may have found in life that your life's like a fairy tale. You start off on a quest. Evil characters in fairy tales come in the form of witches and wolves who are out there to provide obstacles. They use trickery, they use violence, they use manipulation to stand in your way, often wanting to kill the hero or the followers. Think of the wicked queen in Snow White. So, while positive human connections are the key to flourishing, it's difficult to do when the wicked queen is around, which gets me to my third pillar for flourishing. Moving to flourish. Have you ever been somewhere that you're really stuck and you don't like and you should move to flourish, but you stay and stagnate, often called languishing? When the wicked queen came into my life, I moved career and continent. When she's put me off my flow now. When I graduated, I couldn't get a job in South Yorkshire, so I thought I'd better move to London And so sometimes in order just to survive, you have to move. And when you get there, you find you thrive. I love this vibrant, big new place. I loved having to make new connections, starting again with no perceptions of me, making a better version of yourself. And you don't have to be young to do this. At the age of 40, I became a university lecturer. And then I got asked if I wanted to go back into telecoms. But this involved moving to Colorado in the US at the age of 50. My reward for getting there is from my flat, no, apartment, from my apartment, I could see the whole of the Front Range of the Rocky Mountains. I learned how to climb 14,000-foot mountains, snowshoe, baseball, and living in a different culture where they did lots of things to try and confuse Yorkshiremen. So sometimes, in order to flourish, you might have to move and take a leap into the unknown. But it doesn't have to be such a big move. It could just be a move of department in your current company. It could just be moving sports clubs. And we can all move our minds away from thinking about problems and obstacles, thinking about opportunities, breaking down big, hairy tasks into small, manageable chunks in order to free the mind from I can't to I can. For example, I can't write a book. I can start taking notes. I can write an introduction. I can ask my friend to write it for me, or with me even. If they could write it for you, that'd be great, yeah. So, that's my third pillar, moving to flourish. But, and I'm sure that sometimes you may have experienced something in your life that's just stopped you in your tracks. Maybe traumatic, a turning point, a second chance. Mine came at the age of 54, a heart attack. I've been playing football in the university gym. I thought I was gone. I got back to my office and I collapsed on the office floor and my heart stopped. Not the first time I died in that building, according to my students. Anyway, you can imagine you're lying there thinking, I'm dying. Do you think that once you've thought about your family, you think, what am I going to do with the rest of my life? What projects am I going to finish? No, absolutely not, because you think you're dying. And when you get through it, do you behave differently? Well, if you look at my output, you think maybe so. Shortly after my heart attack, I co-authored 2 books and I completed my doctorate. I went for full flourishing by going back to Colorado for the book launch and climbing a 14,000-foot mountain in winter in snowshoes with my friend Martin Booth. So, are you flourishing? Or in the words of Heather Small, what have you done today to make you feel proud of yourself, of your community? What's the one regret, the thing you really wish you'd done? When did you try something new? So how can the pillars help you? First of all, I'd say check your vibe. Think about times and people that have excited you and put yourself in those places again. Try something new, or simply, if you like to sing, join a choir. Learn to focus on the things that help you flourish. Stop doing the things that get in the way. Connect to one new group which will truly value your input and help the community flourish. Read a book, join a library, it's free. Do a park run, it's free. Because if you flourish, so will the community, so will you. Full circle flourishing. Thank you.